Howdy. Today we're going to talk about ethical dilemmas that can occur in project management. We're going to give a brief discussion about what an ethical dilemma is and then dive into ethical dilemmas in PM and talk about a few case studies. So, coming to ethical dilemma, it arises in situations when taking a decision between two possible situations is difficult and either of them is not correct in the ethical standpoint. Any ethical practice with an ethical any unethical practice with an ethical purpose will lead into an ethical dilemma. Everyone faces dilemmas throughout their lifetime, but in the field of project management, running into a situation that leads to an ethical dilemma is very common. For example, unethical project team members may jeopardize a project's team success. Ethics is an essential element in project management. It's all based on the black and white concerns which conflict with the interest. Making the best decisions possible in terms of people, resources, and environment is the fundamental of ethics. So, the case studies that we are going to cover today are unbiased decision making, factual reporting, health and safety concerns, strong change management, accountability and responsibility, and the last one is reusability of resources. So, over to Amshi to take the first two case studies.
Howdy guys, I'm going to take up the first two case studies. Uh, Here goes the first case study. Sarah started her career as an application developer and is currently a project manager. She encounters a delay in delivering a specific feature. She sets up a meeting with development and testing teams. She asked everyone about the reason for the delay. When the testing team expressed their concerns, she didn't seem interested but could relate to the problems mentioned by the developer team. So she spoke in favor of the development team, neglecting the concerns of the testing team. So what happens in a typical project is a project manager must deal with different teams and individuals. For example, there is a development team whose job is to write error-free code, and there is a testing team whose job is to find defects in code. Unfortunately, project managers often unknowingly or knowingly becomes biased towards one unit over the other. Some remedies that can overcome this situation are: never take sides in technical discussions. Once you are an insider, it is very difficult to regain your objectivity, and also hang out with all the teams equally. It is essential not just to be objective, but also to appear so. Something as simple as hanging out with one group all the time can give the impression that the project manager is biased. It is easy enough to comprehend in theory, but often very difficult to implement in practice when factors like past experiences, personal relationships, long-held beliefs, etc., comes into play. Uh, here, come, uh, Here comes the second case study. It is about factual reporting. Before the case study, let me get this point straight. Projects have a significant impact on the fortunes of companies, and project reports are often as important as accounting statements that depict the financial health of an organization. So here goes the case study. The development team of the project recently welcomed Kerry to the group. His project manager is Mike. Mike constantly wants to brush some risks under the carpet for fear of annoying customers or sponsors. But he consistently gave Carrie the assurance that he would deal with the situation and that everything will work out. So, should Carrie reveal what he knows to be the truth, or should Carrie listen to his manager? Some of the remedies that Carrie can follow to overcome in the situation are some to establish the standards and parameters of reporting. An example of standard is a 10% schedule in slippage should cause should make the project status automatically red. Some similar standards should be maintained to make the optimal project reporting, and we have to strive to be as accurate as possible in reporting figures. And if we are making any approximations, then it should be clearly stated in the documentation. One thing we have to get understand from this is, do not succumb to pressures to suppress facts or stating falsehoods and half truths, even if it comes from your boss. Further case studies are going to be handled by Mohit.
Thank you, Amshi. Howdy, everyone. I'll be covering two case studies, one of which is health and safety concerns. So, in this scenario, we have Michael, who is the application developer, who is assigned a task and he has just recovered from an illness which has caused a delay in the timelines. So this deliverable is a critical one and has an impact on the overall project timelines. So the project manager and the application developer Michael are in a dilemma whether whether Sam should push Michael to do the task in a timely manner, or whether he should assign it to someone else. So the few of the measures that Sam as a project manager could take is he could provide early warning indicators to the six stakeholders, including the end users. He could be upfront and transparent about the scenario and explain them to the clients. He could also allocate more resources to the tasks so that they are there to help Michael achieve that deliverable in a timely manner. Next case study, moving on to the next case study, it's about strong change management. Here, Paul, the software developer, has encountered a bug that needs to be fixed. There is an upcoming change represented to the management, but this bug is not tagged along with it. He asked Rahul if that bug could be released in the upcoming change, as it would help fix the bug early before the end users find out. So here, Rahul is in a dilemma whether he should just give a go ahead to Paul for fixing the bug in the upcoming change, or whether he should consult with the authorities and represent that bug fix to the senior management and get their approval before proceeding further. So the measures Rahul, the project manager, could take here is he could communicate the bug fix to the concerned authorities, tell them that it's critical and it needs to be fixed. He could also take approval from the senior management, so he should not proceed until and unless he has received approval for that bug fix to go into the upcoming release. And if it's in case it's not approved, then he should tag that change for the next release. So I hand it over now to Rushi to explain the further case studies.
Thank you, Mohit. Coming up is a case study based upon accountability and responsibility. David, being a project manager, he's assigned the task to deliver a particular project within a few weeks' time. Here he does realize that he's short of resources and he would require more resources under his belt. So, but he's afraid to ask those from the senior stakeholders, and hence he just moves ahead with the project without those resources being allocated. This does lead to the scope creep and a delay in the project timeline. Eventually, the project is delivered, but the organization and the client are very unsatisfied, and this is taken as a failure of the project team. Here, the dilemma with David is whether to blame the team for it, or take up the blame on himself, or take a whole blame, including himself and the team together. So, being a good project manager, he should be taking the blame together as a team on himself and the team, whether it's a success or a failure. He should always drive the team towards success and request resources as and when available. Moving forward, the next case study focuses upon reusability of resources. Jacob has recently transitioned into a new organization. He's been assigned a project which resonates very much with what he's worked on his within his prior organization. He thinks of using templates from the prior organization's project into his current organization's project. This would actually save a lot of time and effort for the new organization, but at the same time, it might be unethical. So Jacob here is quite doubtful on what he should be doing. The remedies to this would be that firstly, he should never be using any of the prior organization's work into his current organization, because that is completely unethical. Secondly, it would break several policies, including integrity, privacy, and confidentiality. The max he could do is use his prior experience and knowledge to build templates for the new one, but he shouldn't be reusing any of the resources of his prior work. Moving on to Kiran for concluding the PPT.
Moving on to the conclusion, ethical dilemmas can arise frequently when working with confidential data in a project. Project managers, therefore, should be very considerate, considering several aspects before moving forward with a solution towards an ethical dilemma. It requires high level of adroitness and experience to carefully choose a path and move ahead confidently. Thank you.